Questioning is a great tool of information collection. It enables teachers to gain an insight in students' knowledge, identify gaps in their learning, and assess students' application of their knowledge, whilst recognizing how students approach different challenges posed. Questioning can be used to build learning profile, learning curiosity, learning character and fortitude. There are 5 major question types that are vitally important in the education sphere and should be used by all teachers and educators on all platforms. Socratic questioning is a disciplined method of questioning that allows teachers to pursue thoughts in many different directions and for various purposes. It allows teachers to explore complex ideas, get to the truth of what students are thinking, open up issues and problems, including misconceptions, and uncover assumptions and presumptions. It gives the opportunity to distinguish what we know from what we do not know and follow a logical sequence of thought. This gives teachers the opportunity to control discussions and question underlying thoughts in a logical, structured, and systematic way. This type of questioning focuses on concepts, issues, problems, theories, and principles as teachers probe thinking at a deeper level. Funnel questioning is a means of increasing or decreasing detail based on what is necessary for the learning. The technique can start with a general or open question, and this can then be drilled down to a more specific point in each follow-up question. This is used for deductive reasoning and allows teachers to ask for more and more details using narrowing questions by using focus words or Kipling questions at each level to build up the overall picture. The technique can also be used by starting with a closed question and gradually progressing to more general questions. This is used to aid inductive reasoning. In so doing, teachers are able to ask broadening questions, use progress questions, and eventually going towards vague questions where students are giving clear understanding when they're applying their knowledge. Opportunistic questions are the questions that arise out of dialogue or information sharing. These may be questions that are asked to have clarity on what was said or shared. It could also be to assess the rationale behind what was shared or to use what was said as an opportunity to build further learning. Opportunistic questions can be asked by students, addressed at the teacher or at their peers. Opportunistic questions can also be questions that teachers ask as a rebuttal to a specific student or directed to other students to capture other ideas, opinions, and build a collective thinking base. Inferential questions are questions that are directly relating to particular scenarios and situations. When these questions are used, they look at students' ability to use their knowledge and experience to be able to arrive at an answer. There is usually the provision of hints and clues to allow students to provide a substantial response through the use of critical and analytical reasoning. Critical questions provides an opportunity to increase participation and interest in learning. Critical questions are high-order thinking questions, which requires students to apply, synthesize, analyze, or evaluate ideas. Students need sufficient thinking time to arrive at a meaningful response. This opportunity can be built in by having students share their answers with a peer to further formulate and reflect before posing the final version of their solution or their answer to the whole class in a discussion. It is advisable to pose critical questions as problems for students to solve, because that is when the brain does its best critical thinking. Here are some examples of each of the types of questions to further your understanding and give you an opportunity to adapt their use in your everyday practice. Teachers all need to have strategies and methodologies that engages learners in the learning process. Asking questions that get as many students' brains thinking as is possible provides a systematic approach to increased students' participation and heightens the learning curve. In order for students to give deep thought to the questions, teachers need to pose questions and give students time to process and think about the questions. Asking questions that stimulates meaningful thinking is more likely to assist students in making learning connections and realize the relevance and importance of their learning experience, both in the present and future. It is therefore imperative that teachers continue to enhance their practice in a way that is able to harness students' best in every season of their learning journey.